Money and the Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Imagine this. It's the swinging 1960s. A young guy named Jerry Hicks is crisscrossing America, performing at college concert series. He's just rolling with life, no grand plans or earth-shattering quests. Then one ordinary day, in a tiny Montana town, he strolls into his motel room and spots a book casually lying on the coffee table. In that single, unremarkable moment, everything was about to flip upside down. The book? Napoleon Hill's legendary Think and Grow Rich. For Jerry, those pages weren't just interesting ideas. They were like finding a secret map to buried treasure. It completely rewired how he thought about money and success. Fast forward 9 years, and boom, he'd built a multi-million-dollar international business, crushing every financial goal he'd set. Pretty amazing, right? But here's where it gets really interesting. He'd share these exact same principles with his business partners. Yet only a handful of them hit that same sweet spot of success. He kept wondering, what's the missing ingredient? What's the secret sauce that works for some people but leaves others stuck? That burning question launched him on a wild, decades-long adventure searching for answers. Together with his wife Esther, they dove into everything from Richard Bach's Illusions to the mind-bending channeled wisdom of Seth Speaks. And then something genuinely extraordinary unfolded. In 1985, Esther started receiving what she described as this incredible stream of loving, brilliant wisdom from a group of non-physical teachers calling themselves Abraham. What began as a personal exploration gradually evolved into a philosophy that sold millions of books and touched countless lives worldwide. The book we're exploring today, Money and the Law of Attraction, stands as one of the pillars of that philosophy. This isn't your typical get-rich-quick handbook. It's more like a master key to understanding how reality actually works. It's your guide to attracting not just wealth, but vibrant health and genuine lasting happiness. The book absolutely exploded, hitting #1 on the New York Times bestseller list, and its core concepts became the primary inspiration behind that worldwide sensation, The Secret. So here's what I'm promising you today. By the time we're done, you'll understand the fundamental law that's been running your entire life behind the scenes. You'll finally get why things happen the way they do, and you'll walk away with simple, practical tools you can start using right this second to rewrite your story and deliberately attract the abundance you were always meant to experience. Let's dive in. Ever feel like life's dealing you a slightly unfair hand? You play by the rules, you put in the hours, you give it your absolute best, exactly like everyone told you to. You push for greatness, go that extra mile, and refuse to quit. But somehow, that success you've been chasing feels like it's playing hard to get. And what really stings is watching other people, folks who don't even seem to be breaking a sweat, achieving way more. It's so easy to start thinking, what gives? What's their secret? This frustrating feeling is actually where our journey kicks off. According to Abraham's teachings through Esther and Jerry Hicks, that uncomfortable sensation isn't proof that you've messed up. It's actually a powerful signal. It's your inner GPS telling you something's off-kilter. You were designed to thrive. You were meant to flourish and feel joy. So when life feels crummy, it means you're out of sync with your true self and with how the universe actually operates. The most powerful and consistent of these universal laws? The law of attraction. The concept is beautifully simple. You get what you think about. Every single aspect of your life, your bank account, your physical health, the quality of your relationships, gets drawn to you by the law of attraction, responding to whatever thoughts you're broadcasting. Now, plenty of people immediately push back. They'll say, "That can't be right. I've been thinking about having more money for years, but I'm still struggling financially." This is where the authors drop the first mind-blowing secret that changes the whole game. They explain that every subject is actually split into two parts: the thing you want and the absence of that thing. Picture it like a stick. One end represents health. The other end represents sickness, which is simply the absence of health. One end shows abundance. The other shows poverty, the absence of abundance. When you say, "I want more money," are you genuinely feeling that delicious freedom of abundance? Or are you actually feeling the stress and anxiety of not having enough? The universe isn't listening to your words. It's tuning into your vibration. It responds to how you actually feel. When you focus on lacking money, you're broadcasting on the frequency of scarcity. And the law of attraction, being perfectly consistent like clockwork, can only deliver more experiences of scarcity. When you feel broke, only experiences that match that broke feeling can reach you. When you feel prosperous, only experiences matching prosperity can flow to you. This law never fails. It's not about punishment or reward, it's just how the universe works. So what exactly do we mean by vibration? Everything in existence, from the chair beneath you to the thoughts floating through your mind, is energy in motion. It's all vibrating at different frequencies. Your physical senses, what you see, hear, touch, are all sophisticated interpreters of these vibrations. But your most important vibrational interpreter? Your emotions. Your feelings are your built-in guidance system. They're your compass. Whenever you feel good, emotions like joy, love, appreciation, or excitement, it's a clear signal that your current thought is harmonizing beautifully with your larger, non-physical self, what the authors call your inner being or source. You're aligned. You're in the flow. Whenever you feel bad, emotions like fear, anger, frustration, or disappointment, it's a signal that your current thought is clashing with your source. You're offering up resistance. In that moment, you're blocking yourself from the well-being that's your natural birthright. So the single most important thing you can ever do is find ways to feel good. And the secret to feeling good lies in changing the story you're constantly telling yourself. You narrate a story about your life all day, every day, through your words and thoughts. Most of us just describe what is, our current reality. I don't have enough money. My job's frustrating. My body hurts. But when you keep retelling the story of what is, the law of attraction just keeps serving up more of what is. If you genuinely want to transform your life, you've got to start telling a different story. You need to start narrating your life as you want it to be. This isn't about denial or fake positivity. It's about deliberately shifting where you're placing your attention. It's about finding a thought that feels even slightly better. The authors give us a brilliantly simple, yet powerful tool called the pivoting process. Here's how it works. The instant you notice you're feeling a negative emotion, you pause. You recognize it for what it is, a guidance signal. Then you simply ask yourself, okay, I know what I don't want, so what do I actually want? That simple question is the pivot. It forces you to turn away from the problem and toward the solution, away from lack and toward desire. Let's say you're looking at your beat-up, unreliable car thinking, I hate this piece of junk. You feel frustrated. That's your signal. So you pivot. I know I don't want an unreliable car. What I actually want is a beautiful, dependable car that I love driving. Just by making that statement, you start shifting your vibration. The negative attraction stops, and positive attraction begins. You feel a little relief. And that relief is everything. It's your first step toward changing what you're attracting. You don't need to leap from despair straight to euphoria. You just need to reach for a thought that feels even a tiny bit better. Then another, and another. The authors compare this to docking a ship. You can't throw that giant, heavy rope across the water. So instead, a sailor tosses a small ball of twine. That twine is attached to slightly bigger rope, which connects to bigger rope, and so on, until finally that massive rope can be pulled across. Your thoughts work exactly the same way. One good-feeling thought attracts another. Another wonderful tool is what they call the Book of Positive Aspects. The authors share this great story about a hotel where they used to hold workshops. Every single time they arrived, the hotel staff seemed to have completely forgotten they were coming, despite signed contracts and confirmation calls. Esther and Jerry would feel frustrated and flustered, scrambling to get everything ready before their guests showed up. Finally, Esther said, "We should find a different hotel." But Abraham's wisdom was beautifully simple. You will take yourselves with you. In other words, if you leave a situation from a place of frustration and lack, you're carrying that vibration with you, and you'll just recreate the same problems at the new place. So they suggested an experiment. Grab a notebook and on the first page write positive aspects of the hotel in Austin. At first it felt challenging, but Esther started writing. It's a beautiful facility. It's clean. The location is great, easy to find. The staff are genuinely friendly. As she deliberately focused on what she actually appreciated about the hotel, her feelings shifted from negative to positive. Her point of attraction transformed. And then something fascinating happened. The hotel never forgot they were coming again. It wasn't that the staff suddenly became more organized. They were simply responding to Esther's new, improved vibration about them. You can apply this to absolutely anything in your life. Your job, your relationships, your body, your finances. By deliberately hunting for positive aspects, you're training your mind to focus on what you want, shifting your vibration, and the law of attraction must respond to that new, upgraded frequency. Now let's explore how this applies to the major areas of our lives, starting with the one right there in the title, money. The subject of money touches your life hundreds, maybe thousands of times, every single day. Because of this constant interaction, it forms a huge chunk of your vibrational makeup. For most people, that vibration screams lack. We're constantly aware of what we can't afford, the bills stacking up, the things we want but don't have. This feeling of not enough is precisely what prevents more money from flowing to us. As the authors plainly state, you cannot feel poor and attract abundance. It completely defies the law. You've got to find a way to feel the essence of prosperity before it actually shows up in your bank account. So how do you pull that off when your reality seems to be screaming the opposite? You start by telling a new story about money. Instead of saying, "I never have enough," you pivot and say, "I'm genuinely looking forward to having more." Instead of obsessing over your debts, you focus on the abundance surrounding you everywhere, the incredible distribution system that makes all kinds of goods available, the talented people creating amazing things. The authors offer this wonderful game to shift your money vibration. Stick a $100 bill in your pocket. As you go about your day, don't actually spend it. Just mentally spend it, over and over again. Pass a nice restaurant, think, "I could totally eat there with this." See a shirt you like? I could buy that. A book, concert tickets, a gift for a friend. I could do that. Someone might say, $100 doesn't buy that much. But if you mentally spend that $100 bill 1,000 times in one day, you've just broadcast the vibrational equivalent of spending $100,000. You're practicing the feeling of freedom and ease. You're changing your point of attraction from, "I can't afford that," to, "I could if I wanted to." This one simple practice done consistently, is powerful enough to tip your vibrational scales and allow more actual, tangible money to flow into your experience. It's absolutely crucial to understand that hard work and struggle aren't the keys to wealth. The book shares this story about a woman who worked tirelessly for 10 years supporting her husband, often struggling and feeling resentful. He, meanwhile, rarely worked and didn't seem particularly concerned about money. After they separated, he inherited over $1 million. Seems totally unfair, right? But from the law of attraction perspective, it makes perfect sense. The woman focused on struggle and lack, and the universe matched her vibration precisely. Her husband felt ease and expected things to come easily, and the universe matched his vibration precisely. The lesson hits hard. You cannot find a happy ending to an unhappy journey. The universe doesn't hand out rewards for your struggle. It responds to your vibration. Financial success doesn't require grinding yourself into the ground. It requires aligning your thoughts. This exact same principle applies with equal power to your physical body. Nothing in the entire universe responds faster to your thoughts than your own body. Your body is a pure mirror, reflecting exactly how you think. Your natural state is one of complete wellness. If you're experiencing anything less than that, from a nagging ache to a serious illness, it's because you're offering some form of vibrational resistance. Chronic attention to unwanted things, complaining about your job, worrying about your finances, feeling anger toward someone, holds you in a state of resistance that blocks your natural well-being from flowing. Illness is simply a physical indicator that your energy is out of balance. It's what happens when you ignore the more subtle signals of negative emotion over time. So how do you heal? Or how do you maintain the good health you already enjoy? The process is identical. You've got to tell a different story. You must find a way to take your attention off the unwanted condition and place it squarely on the wellness you desire. The authors share the remarkable story of Norman Cousins, an author diagnosed with a supposedly incurable disease, but he decided to try something radical. He checked himself out of the hospital, into a hotel room, and just watched funny movies. He laughed, and the disease disappeared. Why did this work? His illness had created a powerful desire for wellness. That's one half of the creative equation. Then, by laughing, he became distracted from his illness. He was feeling pure joy. And that joy was his indication that he'd stopped resisting his own well-being. He wanted it, and he allowed it. That's genuinely all it takes. The best time to practice this isn't when you're in acute pain. It's when you're feeling relatively good. The book suggests carving out just 15 minutes a day. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, and visualize your body exactly as you want it to be. See yourself walking briskly, breathing deeply, feeling strong and flexible. Don't do it to fix a problem. Do it for the pure joy of imagining it. When you visualize for the joy of it, your thoughts are pure and powerful. A belief is simply a thought you keep thinking. As you practice this new, better-feeling story about your body, eventually you'll come to believe it. And when your beliefs match your desires must become your reality. This brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, your career, or what you do to make a living. For so many people, there's this massive disconnect between what they have to do to earn money and what they actually want to do for fun. We're often taught from childhood that we must choose one path and stick with it, that we should prioritize security and income over joy. The authors encourage us to completely flip this model. Make your primary career the pursuit of a joyful life experience. Gravitate toward activities that feel good, that align with your core intentions of freedom, growth, and joy. When you make feeling happy your top priority, not only will you discover work you genuinely love, but abundance will flow to you as a natural byproduct. Jerry Hicks's own life perfectly illustrates this. For years he worked hard, not particularly fun jobs like roofing and sheet metal work. But in his spare time, he did things he absolutely loved: playing music, singing, performing acrobatics. He never planned for those to become his career, but the hard work made him ask for something better, and the fun he was having put him in a state of allowing. Then one day an opportunity appeared out of nowhere to join a circus in Cuba as an aerial performer. That one yes to what felt good led to a joyous 20-year career in entertainment. The secret to a successful and fulfilling career isn't finding a job that pays you enough money so you can then do things that make you happy. The secret is finding what makes you happy and doing that. When you follow your bliss, you align with your source, and the universe must deliver a path to achieve your desires. One of the most powerful vibrations you can ever offer is appreciation. The authors explain that appreciation is the purest vibration of alignment with who you truly are. It's the complete absence of resistance, doubt, and fear. It's seeing the world through the eyes of your inner being. Jerry shares these beautiful stories about how appreciation brought the most wonderful things into his life. He appreciated his wife Esther for years before they ever got together, and then she came fully into his life. He appreciated the teachings of Seth, and then the teachings of Abraham came to him. He and Esther once discovered this enchanting meadow on one of their walks. They never said they wanted to own it. They just purely appreciated its beauty. Years later, a stranger called and offered to sell them that exact piece of land, which is now where their conference center sits. When you're in a state of appreciation, you're a vibrational match to all things good. The law of attraction then powerfully pulls those things straight toward you. So what does this all mean for you, right now, in this moment? It means that no matter where you're standing, regardless of your financial situation, your state of health, or your job satisfaction, you're in a temporary place. It's just an indicator of your past vibration. You have the power, right this very second, to change that vibration by choosing a different thought, by telling a different story. Your life isn't something happening to you, it's something responding to you. The story you tell is the foundation of your life. So as the authors so beautifully conclude, tell it the way you want it to be. As we wrap up our journey through money and the law of attraction, I want to take a moment to reflect on what I believe is the most powerful takeaway from this incredible book. It's not just about slapping on a smile and thinking positive thoughts. It's not about crossing your fingers, wishing for things, and hoping they magically appear. The true genius of this work lies in one elegantly simple, profound idea: your emotions are your compass. Really sit with that for a second. We live in a world that constantly teaches us to ignore our feelings, to push through the pain, to suck it up and deal with it. We're told that success comes from hustle, grind, and sacrifice. But Esther and Jerry Hicks, channeling the wisdom of Abraham, offer a radically different path. They tell us that how we feel isn't just a side effect of our life. It's actually the engine driving our life forward. The idea that feeling good is the most important work you can do is genuinely revolutionary. It reframes absolutely everything. It means that taking a few minutes to find something to appreciate isn't an indulgent luxury. It's a creative act. It means that pivoting from a complaint to a statement of desire isn't just a cute mental trick. It's a fundamental shift in your life's direction. This book gives you permission to make your own joy the #1 priority, not out of selfishness, but from a deep understanding that you can only give to the world from a place of fullness. You can't uplift anyone from a place of despair. You can't help those struggling financially by being broke yourself. And you can't help the sick by being sick. You uplift the world by being a shining example of alignment, joy, and well-being. So how can you start applying this today in a simple, practical way? I want to offer you 2 small challenges. First, for the next 24 hours, try the pivoting process. Every time you catch yourself feeling a negative emotion, frustration, worry, annoyance, just pause for a moment. Acknowledge the feeling without beating yourself up about it, and then gently ask yourself that powerful question, I know what I don't want, so what do I actually want? Don't try to solve the entire problem in that moment. Just make that small, gentle turn in your mind. Notice how it feels. Second, start your own book of positive aspects, but keep it beautifully simple. Pick just one subject in your life, maybe your job, a relationship, or even just your morning coffee. Take 5 minutes and write down everything you can think of that you appreciate about it. Don't force it. Just look for the good stuff, no matter how tiny. Do this for a few days, and notice if your feeling about that subject begins to shift. These small acts are like planting seeds. They might not look like much at first, but with consistent attention, they can grow into a completely new reality. You are the author of your own life story. This book is a powerful reminder that you're holding the pen. You get to decide what the next chapter will look like. That was our deep dive into Money and the Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks. We've explored the core ideas today, but I'll be honest with you, a summary is like looking at a photograph of a magnificent feast. The real nourishment comes when you experience it for yourself. The true magic of a book like this happens in those quiet moments of reading, when a particular story or simple phrase resonates with you in an unexpected way. This summary is here to help you decide if this is a journey worth taking. If anything we've discussed today has sparked a feeling of hope or curiosity within you, I genuinely encourage you to grab a copy. Reading it isn't just about learning, it's an experience that can authentically change how you see yourself and the world around you. You can find a link to the book in the description below. Also, if you found this summary valuable and it gave you something meaningful to think about, please do me a small favor and hit that subscribe button. It lets me know this work is making a difference, and it ensures you won't miss our next journey into another life-changing book. Let's keep growing together.